Hello, and welcome back to another Dan solo game thing. Um, this time we are doing a real mix and match in terms of the final girl, the villain, and the setting. This time I've chosen Barbara once again as the final girl. She, of course, is native, you could say, to the Inkanyamba and Sacred Grove set. I have Hans from Camp Happy Trails as the villain. And then I have Maple Lane, which Dr. Fright is native to as the setting. So basically, Hans has wiped out everyone at Camp Happy Trails and now has made his way to the suburbs, I suppose. Barbara has arrived back in her hometown, and it's up to her to stop the evil. Hopefully, you can hear me okay, by the way. It is a little bit of a warm day, so I do have a couple of fans going. My game room does not have air conditioning currently. Other parts of the house do, but I have just a couple of fans, a small fan and an oscillating one to work with. And it's not uncomfortable at the moment. But I do have my lapel mic on, so hopefully that helps my audio level to some degree. So anyway, I guess we went through the setting already and the arrangement of the villain and all of that. As far as the setup goes, I've drawn a quiet place as the board setup. So we have victims kind of distributed fairly evenly throughout the town. In fact, one side is almost kind of a mirror image of the others in a way, or sort of a mirror image. You draw a line right down the middle and then flip one of them. We also have friendly neighbors as the first event drawn, which will be helpful because, of course, in the Maple Lane setting, you have to use convince cards to go into houses that have people in them, and this gives you an extra dice to roll while resolving those convince cards. What else? We have in the opening set of available items, we have the megaphone, which I had a lot of good luck with a few games ago when I played Paula in the Maple Lane setting. There's a regular rifle, not Barbara's own rifle, but a regular rifle available in the northeastern quadrant, lucky dice in the southwest, and fireworks in the northwest. So I think that's about it. One big mistake I made in the Birds game, incidentally, was that for some reason I kept trading in only one action card to turn dice into successes, and of course you actually need to turn in two, so I've kind of made things a little too easy on myself last time. But be that as it may, I guess we'll get started. So, what should I do first? I have available near me, I have the lucky dice and the fireworks. Those fireworks could be helpful. I can't get into a house to grab them yet, since I don't have any convince cards, but I suppose first and foremost I'll use a focus to try to bring the terror level down a little bit. So that's a partial success, so we can bring this down by one at the cost of one time, and that focus is expended. I think I'll trade in the weak attack and the short rest for 2 extra time, so I'll bring that back up to 7, and I think I'll actually probably call it there. I'll go ahead and use the other focus. Why not? These are the cards I expended, incidentally. So yeah, I'll do that other focus. See if I can bring that down one more notch. And I can. So that, and I'm back to 6 time. And I'm going to call it there. So I have 6 time to buy actions with. I'll go ahead and grab both convince cards, which are 1 each. Sprints are always helpful to have. And searches are always good to have in the early going. So that brings us back to 6. Add these to my hand for next turn. These will go back to the market. And it is now time for the killer phase. So, first, Hans doesn't yet get a move, fortunately. He just targets whoever is in his space and attacks them. And fortunately, he's at the opposite end of the road with nobody exactly in sight of him. So we can move on to draw the terror card. He just keeps coming. The terror level goes up by 1, and Hans targets the nearest victim, moves once towards them, and attacks. So that'll be the unfortunate soul in this house who gets killed off, and our bloodlust level goes up. And we'll make the discard pile there. And then we go to the panic phase. Only one person was in that space, so nobody panics. Upkeep, we're good. So I think we're back to the top of the order. So now I'm going to use my first convince card here, and again I get an extra dice to use it. So I'm going to try to go to the house above me in that northwestern quadrant. And I get 1 star, so for 1 star, I can indeed enter the house at the cost of 1 time. Then I'm going to search. There is my search card, there it is. And I only get 2 dice for that action. Okay, so partial success if I discard, again, 2 cards, unlike what I did in the last game. Shouldn't have been that hard since it's right on the dice, but whatever. So I'll go ahead and sacrifice the other convince I have for now and one of my walks. Yeah, I still have 1 more walk, so that's fine. So yeah, I'll discard these 2 to turn that into a success. And I'll grab the fireworks, which could definitely be useful. The fireworks spend 2 time to place the fireworks token in your space or an adjacent space, not in a house. Whenever the killer must choose a target, they will choose the fireworks instead. Discard the fireworks when the killer enters the space where it is located. So I'll put that in the backpack for now, and I'll grab the fireworks token just so that's ready to go when I decide to use it. Then I'm going to walk and see if I can get the person in this house to exit space, my starting space there. And instead of turning in 2 cards, because I don't really want to lose either of those, I'll take the fail option. Fortunately, Barbara has high starting health. That's mechanically one of the reasons I like her. Another is her personality, the way she's described in the lore book as kind of a manipulator. I kind of see her as an anti-hero, so that's kind of cool. So anyway, I will move up to 1 space at the cost of 2 time and 1 health. So this goes down, this goes down. And then I'll save this guy, and I'll go ahead and gain back the health with that save victim. So it's almost like that was a successful roll. So the walk is expended. The search was expended too, sorry. Yeah, actually I couldn't have, since that search was expended, I couldn't have turned in 2 cards. I only have the sprint left at the moment. So, anyway, I think that's about all I'm going to do this turn. So, we'll go to the planning phase. I'll take back my 0 cost actions, and then I have 3 to buy actions with. I'll go ahead and grab that other search, I think. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, I also need to, because this house is searched, that gets an X marker. So anyway, that search was 2, and then I'll grab a close call for the remaining 1 time. So there's that close call. Then these go back to the market. I'll have to buy back those convinces on the next turn. Search. Okay. So, killer phase. Hans again still doesn't get a move yet on his own. So we'll go to the terror card. It's too quiet. The terror level goes up again, and Hans gets 2 movements to the nearest victim. So I think that will, yeah, that'll put him here. Since these 2 connect, these do not. If the killer is in the same space as me, then the terror goes up again. We don't have to worry about that, fortunately. Okay, so the killer phase is over. Panic phase, not applicable. We don't really have anything to do on the upkeep phase. Yeah, I think we're good to go again. I would like to get to the northeastern quadrant if I can to grab that rifle. Even if it's not Barbara's own actual rifle, it'll still be helpful. So, yeah, I'm actually pondering on this next turn if I should set up the fireworks on this space. It's about as far away from Hans as I can get it. Unless I go into this house, that will put it even further away from Hans and make him have to walk a fair distance to get to those fireworks. And that could buy me a lot of time. I think I'll do that. I'll try to enter this unoccupied house, and I can do that just with a walk. And I don't have a walk, do I? I used both of those on the last turn. Well, I don't need to enter that house. I could search it to get the lucky dice, but I don't know if those are really necessary, and I can place the fireworks in an adjacent space. So I think I will do that. That costs 2 times, so I'll put them on the space of that house. Looks like they're launching from the backyard there. So yeah, I guess that'll do for that. Then, since Hans isn't going to directly target me until he gets to those fireworks, I'll go ahead and use a sprint, I think, to try to get myself towards that northeastern quadrant. And actually, I'd like to grab the megaphone from the southeastern quadrant as well. So, yeah, I'll use the sprint. Ooh, so that's 2 I can potentially turn into successes if I discard 2 cards. I'll discard the short rest and the weak attack. That's kind of standard early in the game, I guess. But yeah, maybe I'll even go ahead and re-roll the other dice and see if I can turn that into a star with the close call. Yeah, why not? So, just 1. Oh, nice. So I actually turned that into a double success at the cost of 3 cards. So I'll go for 3 spaces for 1 time. 1, 2. I'll go this way first, just to get myself a little bit out of the villain's way. Then I'll go ahead and use a focus to try to bring down the level of horror here. And that did not work. So I'm down to 1 time. Yeah, I'll call it there for this turn. I still have a search and a focus, and I need that 1 time, I think, to buy a convince back from the store or the market or whatever, the tableau. So I'll grab my 0 cost, one of the convinces, and then all of these get filed back. Okay, so that should be all right. Let's see. So Hans's turn. Terror card we go straight to. He kept swinging his hammer and killing and killing. If there are no victims on the board, discard this. We do have victims. So Hans is going to go to the nearest victim, kill them, and um, attack. Now, of course, he's actually going to be targeting the fireworks, but he does have to go through this intersection, so I think on the way he's going to actually wipe out these two guys, one for each of these actions. So that's not ideal. That brings the terror level up one more, so I'll try to use that other focus on the next turn before that gets too out of hand. So, yeah, I think that's it. Fortunately, at least we don't have to panic anybody. Yeah, so I think we go back to the top of the order. So for Barbara, there's actually nobody in that upper left-hand house, although I have to walk to get to it. I have to walk anyway, so I'll need 2 spaces to get into that house and potentially pick up the rifle. So we will try to do that. And we can move 1 space for that first walk for 1 time. Yeah, might as well use the other walk, I guess. Okay, so she can go in to the boyfriend's house. I guess Chip. I think that was Barbara's boyfriend's name that I gave him in the Camp Happy Trails. I guess he's not home. Did he get killed in that first game? That was like the first Final Girl video I did. I honestly don't remember. I haven't really watched it back. So yeah, anyway, we'll get a search and try to grab that rifle, because that will be helpful. 2-8. So I can discard 2 cards. That's the wrong pile. I wanted to use that focus, but I do want to grab the rifle, so I'll discard I'll get another focus, I think. Maybe not. Oh yeah, I do. I get another focus back this coming turn anyway. So yeah, I'll discard the convince and the focus, and grab the rifle for another time. So there's that, and that gets 2 shots. So that's about all I can do this turn. Before planning, I'll get my 0 cost back, and then I have 3 time to buy actions with. Sprint and close call. This house also gets an X, incidentally. Alright, so these go back. Alright, Hans's turn. Still doesn't get a move on his own. So I definitely need to bring the horror level down soon. They told us to hide. Fear level goes back up again. Place 1 new victim in each house that's not connected to an exit space, so that's the intersection spaces. So just grab my victims here. Alright, so the Smallies, I think, are actually the parents of one of the other final girls, so I guess actually that final girl, who I believe is Sheila, if I'm not mistaken. I guess she just got home, so we could possibly save another final girl, or possibly one will get wiped out. Alright, so there's that. We also draw an event card. Fire. Roll a die and place the fire token in the boyfriend's house or the Smallies' house. Any victims in the house or that panic into the house are killed. You or enemies in the house that burns take 1 damage. That house may no longer be entered or searched. So we want this, even though it'll cost me a damage. We want this to be the boyfriend's house because we'll lose 3 victims otherwise, and that will reveal Hans's dark power. All right, 3. So yes, it is the boyfriend's house. So of the 2 options, that's the better one. So fortunately, we already searched that house anyway. So I think we're all good. We do lose 1 health. And I guess this goes on the discard pile along with the terror card. And sorry, just adjusting the camera there. All right, so Barbara's a little bit singed, but okay overall. And what I think I want to do now is see if I can sprint to one of those southeastern corner houses and potentially save some victims and also try to get that megaphone. So, get out a sprint. I should actually, you know what? Because I don't want to be tempted into sacrificing it and then losing it. Let me do the focus first. Okay, so 3 and 2. Discard the weak attack and the short rest again to turn that into a partial success. So we can bring that down for 1 time. Then I'll then I'll do the sprint. Oh man, I'll close call that one so I can re-roll this. I'm gonna have to take the L on this one, I think. If I do sacrifice another health, I can move up to 1 space and lose 2 time and then end my turn. I guess that's the best I can hope for. So move there, and my turn's over anyway. So that's fine. All right. So planning phase. Get these back. Grab a convince and. So I actually lost 2 time on that sprint, incidentally, so I had 3 to work with, 2, since I already got the convince. So I'll just grab the other sprint. I'll grab the search for that. Alright. So that turn could probably have gone a bit better. Hans's turn. Fortunately, we denied him a big bump in his bloodlust, since Smalley's house didn't burn up. Road closed for construction. Place a roadblock token on the exit closest to me. Great. Actually, that might be okay. I'm moving away from that space anyway. So, victims may not be saved from that space. And then we draw an event. The Smalleys. Place 2 special victims in the Smalleys' house. Each time one of the Smalleys is killed, raise the bloodlust level by, I assume that means an extra 1. So, probably should actually go try to go there first and try to save these folks before Hans gets to them. Come on, stand up. Okay, so fortunately Hans didn't get to really do anything that turn. That's always a positive. He's still just standing in the intersection. So, my turn, I'll use... Let's see, these are the... Sorry, I kind of screwed up what I was doing here. So last turn I bought a convince and a search. Sorry. So that goes back. These all go back. Okay. Okay, I think I got it now. So I'll first and foremost use the other focus to try to bring the horror level down. Again. And we can do that. So it's just back up to 6. Now it's at 5. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at Hans while I'm here. I have 2 shots with my rifle. Yeah, so I can make a horror roll with the rifle for 2 time. I'll do the time first, actually. Oh, yeah. Well, I can turn one of those into a success to do some damage. The focus I already used. I guess I'll sacrifice a search and a walk. So that does 2 damage to Hans. So chips away at him a little bit at least. And I have 1 more shot with my rifle later on. I'm not going to do it this turn. I am, however, going to walk and try to start making my way down towards the smallies. I'm actually going to short rest soon, I think, so I'll sacrifice the 1 health to move 1 space. It's better than nothing. Alright, so planning. I have 1 time to work with. It's not ideal. Yeah, I'll just grab a close call. That's about all I can do. So these will go back. Hans gets his move. He just keeps coming. Our level goes up. Then he moves once towards the closest victim and attacks. He still only gets 1 movement, fortunately. So let me just see. His closest victim will be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You know what? Obviously, it would be least advantageous if he goes to the smallies. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and induce some random chance into this, since they're all equal. Actually, that way is equal too. Alright, scrap all of that. He's moving towards the fireworks still anyway, so he gets 1 move this way. That unfortunately does put him within range of the Smalley house, but again, he still has at least a little while before he gets to those fireworks, so I think we're okay. See, I think we're back to the top of the order. I can't do much this turn, unfortunately. Those are already spent. I can't actually move. I can focus, so I may as well do that. And that is a success. At least 1 success, so that comes down by 1. I'll go ahead and short rest and try to get some of that health I lost back. Okay, close call, 1 of those die. So, boy. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and sacrifice my last 2 cards. So, turn that into a partial success for 1 time, and I get one heart back. It's better than nothing. And that's literally all the actions I have. So for planning, get these back, and I have 4, so I'll grab a sprint. I'll grab a convince and a close call. Alright, Hans's turn. He just keeps coming again. I keep getting that card. So our level goes back up. He moves once towards the nearest victim, which he's still targeting the fireworks. And then that is the end of his turn. We're actually getting a little bit low on the terror cards, too, here. So these go back on the market. No, these are the. Sorry, these are the ones I have for next turn. So it is the next turn. So I'm going to try a sprint to try to cover as much ground as I can. And I can get 2 spaces out of that. So this goes back up and then back down. So 1, 2. Then I'll use the convince to come into the smallies house. So I can pull some people out of there, hopefully. Okay, so for one time I can come in. Oh, actually, I get a. Let me re-roll that one because I do get an extra dice for. All right, so 3 dice for the convince. And I get 1 star out of it, so this comes down to 4, where it was anyway. Basically, it's the same result as if I had rolled with 2 dice. But I can come in. Do I have a search? I don't. It is just the lucky dice item, so I guess that's not a huge deal. So I'll use a walk. Okay. I'll close call one of the dice. That didn't help. I should have just kept it and sacrificed it with another card. All right, I'll sacrifice my focus and my walk for a partial success on that. So I'll grab the 2 special victims here, and I can move 1 space with them. So hopefully on the next turn I'll be able to move them to the exit before Hans can get to them. Fortunately, again, he still has the fireworks as the distraction. So, yeah, I'll call it there. Planning phase, I'll get these back at 3 time. I will grab a search and we'll grab a convince. Yeah. No, actually. Yeah, I'm actually, instead of a search, I'm going to grab a sprint for this turn. Sorry. Revising my last market phase. Same time cost and everything. Alright, terror phase. Taking souvenirs if there are no victims on the board. Otherwise, Hans moves to the closest victim and attacks twice for each victim killed during the killer phase. So he moves towards the fireworks, and that gets discarded. So, fortunately, I think that's the end of his turn. Or would he move 1 more? Yeah, I guess he would get 1 more move after the fireworks, so he would move back towards where I am. Okay, so I guess we're done with that turn. We only have 2 terror cards left. That's not ideal. Let me see if I can, on a sprint on this next turn, see if I can get to this exit, and then I could use a convince to go into this house. I need a full success on the sprint, of course, so that won't be easy. Before I resolve that, we'll say that I did this first, but before I start running, I'm actually going to use another 2 to take a shot at him with the rifle. And 2 stars is a success. So he comes down a little bit more. Fortunately, that's it for this rifle, so that gets discarded. Now I'll roll for the sprint. Okay, so I got 2 successes on the sprint, so I can move the smallies 3 spaces with me. 1, 2, 3 to the exit. Okay, this is good. So I lose 1 time. The smallies get saved. I'm going to bring the horror level down with 1 of them. And I'll use the other to take any top item card, and I'll grab that megaphone. Yeah, so that is helpful. Okay, so yeah, these are the cards I used already. Then I think I'll use a convince lastly here to go into this house I'm next to. And I can do it. So 1 more time. Go in here with this guy. I can try to save him on the next turn if I walk out of the building. So, yeah, I'll end the turn there. That was reasonably successful. Okay, so I have 2 time to buy things with. Grab a search. See if I can find Barbara's rifle since my regular rifle is expended. And I think that's about all I can get other than my 0 cost actions. So these will all go back. There we go. Alright, Hans's move. Fortunately, we've been able to keep him away from the victims. The fireworks definitely helped with that a lot so far. He wants fresh blood. Hans moves 2 spaces towards the nearest victim, so I think he's going to go to the Smallies house. Fortunately, the special victims I saved. So we don't have extra bloodlust happening, but he is going to go in, and one of these guys is brown bread. So there's still 2 victims in the Smallies house. This goes up by 1, horror level goes up. Still a space away from his dark power, so that's good. Then we draw the. I'm sorry, this is the terror card, so that's it for that. Panic phase. We haven't had to do that yet, but we have 2 victims to panic, and I'll roll for both of them right now. 1 and 2. So basically, they just go the only way they can go, out of the garage and into the street. So yeah, that's it for that turn. For my next turn, first I'm going to walk, try to just get out of the house. Actually, I'll do the search first while I'm in the house. That makes more sense. So, search, I can, for 1 success, take the top item of the space I'm in, which is the southeast quadrant. So this will get a marker. And I used, again, one of Barbara's victim saving abilities to already get the megaphone. So this is a mystery item, and we have a trash can lid. That's better than nothing. It's basically a shield. So that gets 3 uses. So add them here. Okay. So we did the search. Now we'll walk. Ah, damn it. I'm going to take it's a complete fail. I can't do anything about it, but I'm going to, for the cost of 1 health, I will move 1 space, and that's also 2 time. So I'll move outside. This guy gets saved, and I'll gain myself back 2 time by saving him. So 1, 2, back up to 5. So that walk is done. I only need to save 1 more victim to unlock my final ability. For now, I have a focus. I'll use 1 focus this turn. Save the other walk for the time being. Alright, so 1 success, so we come back down to 4. This comes down by 1, so we've done a good job keeping the horror level from getting out of hand. Alright, planning phase, I have 4 to work with. I have the shield and I have the megaphone. I think my best bet for saving people at this point will be to try to grab these 2. So to do that, I'll need to convince, obviously. So I'll buy 1 of those. Sorry, this is my not yet used pile. So 3 left. I'm going into their house. I'll probably want to search it again, see if I can scrounge up anything else. And then a close call for the remaining 1. So let's get these back. These go on the thing. Alright, so Hans's turn. Hans still doesn't get a move on his own since he's not unlocked his Dark Power nor his Finale. So we go to, unfortunately, this is our last terror card, so the Finale will unlock. He just came out of nowhere. Place Hans with the farthest target possible. Draw the next terror card. Horror level goes up. Unfortunately, we can't draw the next terror card. But the furthest target possible will be this guy up here. So he goes up here. He doesn't attack, fortunately. That's good. So let's see. The Finale card. There it goes. Finale card is Dark, Darker, Darkest. Draw a second Dark Power card when this is revealed. Alright, so we haven't unlocked his first Dark Power yet. So I assume he'll only have the 1 unlocked at this point. Alright, so for his first Dark Power to be unlocked, we have Sledgehammer Massacre. For every attack, Hans attacks you and each victim in his space once. Okay, so I guess we're back at the top. I still need to save 1 victim. I don't actually need to bother going in this house unless I want to, because there are 2 victims out on the street. These would still be closer to get to, though, so I'm going to see if I can walk 1 space and then use a convince to go into their house. Perfect. So 1 space goes to 5. Then convince, I get a special bonus dice for that because of the friendly neighbors thing. Alright, so convince is right here. Alright, 1 success. So I can go in. Then do I have a search? I do have a search, so I'll search the place. See if there's anything good here. Oh boy. I'll discard the weak attack and the close call to turn that into a 1 success. So this comes down, and southeast, I get the last card there. Nice, pitchfork. So I'm going to put that in my backpack for now, because it requires both hands. I'll stick with the megaphone and the trash can lid as my equipped items. But the pitchfork can be helpful both as a weapon and as possibly a shield. It can actually prevent damage as well. So, yeah, that search is done. I can't move again this turn. I'm going to discard the focus to get 1 time back. And I think I will use the short rest to get some health back. So there's that. I get 3 health. So, okay. So that expends all of my cards. For planning, grab this a walk and focus by... I do want to get one of the big attack cards hopefully soon, but for now I'll grab a sprint and a close call for the next turn. So these go back to the tableau. Alright, Hans's turn. He gets basically just a chance to wipe out this guy in the house he's already in, so that moves his Bloodlust up and reveals the other dark power, the original one, which is Feed. So anytime he kills a victim, he recovers health. I'll do this. So that's not great, because Hans already has a lot of health to whittle down. Yeah, I think we're back to the top now, so this house gets a marker since it's searched, and even though I didn't search it directly, I took the megaphone, so there's no items left in the southeastern corner, so I'll just mark the other house also. So what I want to do basically is to get these two to the exit. That will max out, that will reveal my final ability. They'll use a sprint to try to move those 2 spaces. Discard the walk and the focus and the close call, I guess. To move those 2. So 1, 2. So save my last victim and actually get an extra movement out of the deal. So that should be there. That's expended. I have a walk left in hand. So I flip my card, and victims will move into the killer space with me. When I do damage to an enemy in my space, I can do an additional damage for each victim present in my space. For each additional damage done that way, I do not increase the bloodlust level. So I think I'm actually going to keep the other person with me here. I kind of use him as a human shield of sorts. And that is about all I can do this turn. Yeah, I think I'll save up the time here and buy one of the bigger attack cards. I'll buy the Furious Strike for 4 and a Close Call for 1, just to have those. So that's 5 total. Back up to 6. Alright, so these actions back as well. Alright, so doing all right here, I think, even though Hans is on his finale. So now he's going to get 2 movements towards the nearest victim again, which is going to be that house below him. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He gets 2 movements per icon now. So one of these gets killed. That brings up his bloodlust. He also gains a health back. That's not good. And he also attacks the other person automatically. So horror level goes up. I'm going to need to hopefully focus on the next turn to keep that out of the red zone. Yeah, so fortunately that does avoid the panic phase at the very least. So for my turn, once per action phase, I can move any victim on the board one space. I'm going to use the megaphone to call this person into the intersection, and then I'm going to move up and try to join them, so I'll have both of these as, again, sort of meat shields to throw at Hans and do some extra damage. Yeah, so I'll use a focus first here, and again try to prevent that from entering the red zone, because that won't be good. Discard the short rest, and I guess I'll walk. I'll discard the close call. I want to keep all these actions. So that is a partial success for one time. And then I'll walk and try to move myself up towards that intersection space. And I can do it. 2 successes. So I'm here with 2 people. On my next turn, I could even use the megaphone again to pull the third person out. Actually, I think I'll try to use the other walk to move this way, and thus put a little bit more distance between me and Han, so I can get a few more cards before he actually gets to my space. So yeah, I'll use that walk as well, and I'll sacrifice the health. I'll try to gain some of that back soon. So 1, 2, move 1 space. So I have 3 people with me on this space here. Alright, so I'll keep the weak attack and the furious strike. I have 3 to buy with. I'll buy an improvise to increase my odds with those attacks. So that's 3. Please go back. I also got to focus back. Yeah. So Hans's turn. He is actually going to get to me, isn't he? Because he gets 2 movements and 2 spaces per movement icon. So 1, 2. Yeah, he gets to me. Should have bought a retaliate 2 turns ago. So my planning here could have gone a lot better because Hans is now going to attack one of the victims because of the 2 dark powers he has. He's also going to wipe out the other 2 victims and do 1 damage to me. And with 3 victims killed, he actually gains 3 health back. So my human shield technique didn't quite work out, and he's now back at full health. And I am not at full health. So, actually, I will say that I used the trash can lid to deflect one of the damage he did to me specifically. Yeah, that's not great. Also, this goes up by 3, so his bloodlust is maxed out. Horror level goes up. So basically, there's just that last house with people in it, and anyway, I think what I'm going to do now is use improvise first to Okay, so until this action phase ends, all of my 3s and 4s are successes. Then I'm going to use a Furious Strike on Hans to do some damage to him. Alright, so that's a 3 and a 4, so that's a double success. So this comes down, takes 2 damage, and my turn continues. I'll go ahead and use the weak attack also. Again, try to damage him as much as I can on this turn. So that's 1 success. I actually lose a health, but so does he. Alright, so I have a focus left in hand. I don't have any movement, unfortunately. And he's going to do some damage to me this turn, potentially. So for planning phase, fortunately, I didn't use any time on any of those actions I just did. So I'll take these back, and I have full 6 to work with. Critical blow is always good. Retaliate is good. I'm going to grab the sprint and the retaliate for this one, I think. So these all go back. Furious Strike is back on the market, as is Improvise. It's his weak attack. So he's on my space. He's going to target me on this attack, and he does 3 damage. Sorry, he does 5 damage per attack. So, and I think I screwed that up with the trash can lid. I still should have taken some damage. I'm going to discard the pitchfork to prevent the damage from this single attack. So Hans's turn ends. Yeah, I think I should have actually still gotten some damage through the trash can lid on that last turn, but I'll worry about that later. Alright, so this turn I'm first gonna walk. Try to get away from him a little bit, although he'll easily catch up. That, that, I guess, to move 1 space. Then I'll use the megaphone. I'll draw 1 person out from this house into the street, and then I'm going to sprint. Alright, so I get 2 spaces. That's perfect. So I go here 1 time. Then finally I'm going to short rest because my health is not ideal. Alright, so just 1 more time and I gain 1 health back. Okay. So, planning phase. That was discarded. I'll actually discard, I'll say I discarded that focus to gain 1 time unit. And I'll grab the Furious Strike for my 4 time. Alright, so Hans is up. So he gets to move 1, 2, 3, and then he attacks. I'm going to retaliate. And I get a double success, so I ignore all damage. And do 2 back. And I'll do a third by throwing this guy at him. And no, I probably didn't quite play that right. I guess he would have actually targeted the victim first before me, but this makes a better story, I think. So that ends Hans's turn anyway. Back up to the top of the order, all I have is a Furious Strike, so I'm gonna have to use it. And I get a double success, so the fear level comes down, and I do 2 damage to him. That's good. He's actually down to 4, as am I. And then that's all I can do. Planning, I'll get these back. I have full 6. So I'll grab the critical blow, and hopefully be able to do some more damage to him with that. Fury Strike, retaliate. He's gonna attack me, and I have 3 health left. I have the trash can lid, so I can deflect 2 of his 5 damage with that. I don't think I really have any other option for preventing damage, unfortunately. So, take 3. So here's what I'm going to do for this turn. I'm going to use the megaphone to call one of these people out into the street. And then I'm going to walk to their space. Discard the 2 focuses to be able to move that 1 space here. So 1 time. Then I'm going to take a short rest. Okay, so comes down by 1. I at least get 1 health back. Then I'm going to walk again. Then I'll walk again. 1 space. And again, because of my final ability, the victim will willingly come with me. Then I'm going to go for a critical blow. Okay, so I'll do 1 extra damage from this person. Plus 2 damage here. Fear level comes down. 2 damage. And then my turn ends. Maybe I should have done the weak attack first, huh? This is going to be a tight one, isn't it? So, for planning phase, I have 3 time, so I'm going to get a guard and a close call, so I can hopefully fend off Hans's attack here. Alright, come on, Barbara. You can do it. Okay, so Hans attacks on his turn. I'll use a guard. Please, 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 please. Oh. Ignore all damage. So, these should have gone back on the market, incidentally. Sorry. Alright, so Barbara successfully fended off that attack by Hans. Um, for her turn, yeah, I'm just gonna go for the weak attack and hope for the best here. I just need 1 star. Oh no! Weak attack didn't do it. I'm gonna close call. That's the only option I have. Oh, thank God. So, we'll see if this final damage on Hans gets the job done or not. And it does. Barbara squeaked out a win there. Very close, as you can see. But yeah, so far Barbara's undefeated in Final Girl for me, at least. Yeah, definitely my favorite character between her high health, low level of victim she needs to save, her abilities, and again the personality I kind of dig that's described in the book as well. So yeah, I think we did it. Um, we'll do something different next time. I might go back to Gleek more. I do have another book it game I've been wanting to do for a while, the hybrid promotion one. Or I might do another game. We'll see. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again.